Happening now, Bill Clinton is testifying under oath before the House Oversight Committee in its Jeffrey Epstein investigation. His appearance in Chappaqua, New York, where he and Hillary Clinton live, marks the first time a former U.S. president has been formally compelled to testify in a congressional probe. Joining us now, CNN political commentator Michael Smerconish. He hosts CNN's Smerconish and the Michael Smerconish program on Sirius XM. Michael, thanks for joining us. First of all, what have you been hearing from your listeners, your viewers, about all of the latest fallout from the Epstein investigation?
If you had told me a couple of months ago that as we enter March, this story would have the resonance that it does today, I wouldn't have believed it. But the documents kind of demand that every day, a trickle of new information, somebody else who's famous and had connection to Jeffrey Epstein, who is now being canceled as a result. Take a look at the last week. Bill Gates caught up in this. Larry Summers caught up in this. Bob Kerrey caught up in this. I do have a concern, though, Wolf, and my concern is that we're now judging people based on association and not based on conduct. And there's a big difference between the two. At some point, perhaps, it goes too far.
In today's poll on your website, which a lot of us follow, you're asking people this question: does the value of transparency from release of the Epstein files outweigh the risks of spreading unverified accusations? So what's the take so far?
Okay, so roughly 80% are saying bring on the transparency. I don't buy into the 80-20 for the reasons that I just articulated. I think that we're in a realm of a very careful balancing now, where people's reputations are being tarnished because of association and not necessarily based on conduct. Candidly, I think it was ridiculous that Secretary Clinton was hauled before the Oversight Committee yesterday. Less so relative to President Bill Clinton, but I thought that that was an excess. And Republicans better be careful what they wish for here, because if there's a change in the guard in the midterms, as the polls suggest there will be, that subpoena power is now going to be in the hands of Democrats, and I think there's going to be a response that'll be in kind.
Do you anticipate that we'll see more high-profile officials with past ties to Epstein, like the Commerce Secretary, for example, Howard Lutnick, have to testify before the Oversight Committee? Where does this all go from here?
That is the precedent that has just been set. I mean, how can you justify bringing the Clintons before this committee yesterday and today and not respond in kind for Republicans who are similarly represented in the Epstein files? I think fairness demands that. And by the way, I don't think it was a good precedent to set for the reasons that I've already stated. But now that that door has been opened, I think it would be hypocritical to say, well, it will only be the Clintons that we call before the committee.
On another interesting story, and I know you've been watching this as well, Michael, we learned that President Trump and the New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani met at the White House yesterday to talk about a housing initiative in New York. Speak about the unique relationship that seems to be developing between these two men and what you expect could come out of all of this.
So it's a bromance that I'm enjoying watch develop. And relative to the president, I'm not surprised. I know some people are surprised by the extent of the olive branch that he's handed to Mamdani, to Mayor Mamdani, but the president loves a good show. This is a good show. Those headlines, Wolf, you and I remember, Ford to New York City dropped dead. So I got a kick out of it yesterday, but you're never dead, it seems, to Donald Trump unless you're really dead. You can be in the tent, outside the tent. You can be on the outside looking in and then welcomed back later. And I just applaud both men's ability to get along when they have such sharp differences. I wish we could see more of that and not less of it. Let's see where it goes.
And as you mentioned, Mamdani actually brought some props to help make his case for the biggest federal investment in housing in some 50 years to President Trump. Apparently an effective strategy, I should say that. What do you make